This video might hurt some feelings. You know, those design trends that a lot of people thought were amazing 5 or 6 years ago, well, the internet's gotten together, they've weighed in, and they say these 10 trends need to go. Number 1 on the list, the internet weighed in, they've spoken, they said everything gray is so last year. This is kind of an interesting one. I'm really curious what you guys think out there. As someone who has a majority gray house, I'm going to tend to disagree. I don't know, maybe this one has jumped the shark, maybe this one has kind of moved forward, but I can tell you in a lot of the houses that I show, it's still a trend that's alive and well. In a lot of new construction, it's still the predominant design. So while it seems like maybe some people online are sick of the gray palette, the reality is, at least in my lived experience right now, it's still very much in and going strong. What do you guys think? Is gray done? Is it kind of over? Or is it still something we're gonna see for the next 5 years? Let me know in the comments. Number 2, above the counter bathroom sinks. Now, I had to kind of look this up because in my mind, I was seeing those bathrooms where they kind of have like a bowl set on top of the counter and the sink has, you know, a high faucet and it drains out through the bottom. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the old school overmount sinks versus what we see undermounted today in a lot of homes. This one I kind of have to agree with. One of the things that I don't like about the sinks that are mounted over the top is the fact that you have to seal that edge between the countertop and the sink to keep water from going through. The undermount sinks are so much easier. They provide so many more advantages that, quite honestly, I can absolutely see where this trend is completely over. Number 3, bathtub in the shower. Now, I'm not talking about an all-in-one. The internet right now is talking about what they would call a wet room, where usually the shower is 8 by 10 and there's a standalone bathtub on the tile inside the shower. When this started, the purpose was definitely about keeping the bathroom a little bit more dry, giving room for all this different stuff to go in there, and really just separating or really discontinuing the separation between tub and bath. I think that tubs, at least in new construction, are not really seeing the same popularity that they used to. And the reason why is, well, jacuzzi tubs were one of the first things to go. So often in the 90s and especially the early 2000s, this was a predominant feature in the primary bedrooms of a lot of homes. However, today, most builders don't even offer a jacuzzi or a soaking tub unless you're going to special order it and custom design. So this is another one where it's a wet room with a tub in the shower, or just simply having an oversized tub in the bathroom seems to be a trend that's definitely on its way out. Number 4, this one hit me like an arrow to the heart because here I am in the Midwest. Barn doors. The internet tells us that the barn doors on the interior are another design trend that has kind of passed us by. I will say, here in the Midwest, I don't see it as much as I used to. It was definitely more popular 4 to 5 years ago, but I do still see a fair amount of barn doors used on the interior here in the Midwest. I don't know if this is as big in the South or the Southwest, but ultimately, it's a trend we're hanging on to here in West Michigan. And I'm going to tell you, internet, I'm not over it yet. I'm not done. I'm still rocking the barn doors. What do you guys think? Is this one that's done, or is this something that, quite honestly, is still in fashion, still a cool modern design? Number 5, the internet tells us that it is over having the microwave above the stove. This is one that kind of caught me off guard. I kind of never heard this from buyers as I'm going through. I will tell you the one thing that I'm over personally is microwaves that have the vent hood that don't actually vent outside. What's the point of a fan that just blows everything around and back into the kitchen? I don't know, but it's fairly common. We have seen a trend of a lot of people moving the microwaves into the pantries. And so we are seeing it, more and more moving out of the kitchen itself. Obviously, the big trend that I would say people are over is microwaves on the kitchen counters. What do you think on this one? Is microwave above the stove a problem, or is it just kind of a normal thing for most people? Number 6, and it kind of follows the exact same trend, The internet tells us that the TV being placed over the fireplace is out the door. They're sick of it. It's one of those things that needs to go away. This is another one where I think it's a little bit of a tough thing for design. For a lot of people, when we're looking at family rooms or specifically great rooms, there's not a lot of other great choices on where to put the TV. Of course, one of the trends that's never going to die is having a ton of natural light. And so in a lot of people's great rooms, we do see a good wall of windows. And then, of course, where else are you going to put it except for above the fireplace? In the few homes that I have seen the TV kind of offset or maybe put onto the right or left side of the fireplace on the wall, definitely a harder viewing angle and a little bit more awkward look versus above the fireplace. So I'm just curious, if you're watching this, if this is one that you think needs to go, it's already had its time, where do you put the TV if not above the fireplace at that stage? Number 7, and I want to send out a giant apology to Chip and Joanna Gaines. Shiplap is something the internet thinks needs to go. In this one, I don't know. I will tell you, I've been through some homes where I've seen it overused and it doesn't look great. And also, I've seen some modern new things today where it still fits and makes sense. Shiplap's one of those things where it just caught fire for a few years. However, I don't know if it's a trend that needs to be done at this stage or if we just have to make sure it's only going in the places where it makes sense. Weigh in on this one in the comments below and tell me, did Joanna create and then destroy the genre, or is shiplap still a thing that's going strong today? Number 8, vinyl luxury plank. This is one where I quite honestly never understood this trend from the beginning. Some people love it. They talk about durability. It's definitely a low-cost option. Me personally, I've always been on team hardwood floors. Synthetic floors never really been my jam, but I can see where it makes sense for a lot of people's budget, and especially if you are anti-carpet, this might be a great choice for you. Couple of problems I have with it: if there's any imperfection in your subfloor, it shows right through that vinyl plank. It's definitely, to me, in some cases, looks a little bit cheap, but I also know there are people who still absolutely love luxury vinyl plank. So tell me, in your mind, is this one that stays, or is this one that's kind of time has passed? Number 9, and I'm a hard holdout on this one for sure, the modern farmhouse design style. The internet says it's done. The internet says it's out. Here in the Midwest, I will tell you, it's still going strong. To me, it's timeless. I'm gonna have to go against everybody on the internet that feels that modern farmhouse design is something that needs to go. I still love it. Here in West Michigan, builders are still building them. Of course, there's so many beautiful, amazing luxury farmhouses out there on acreage here in West Michigan. This is a trend that even if the internet's over it, I'm personally not, and I love these homes, and if you're interested in one, reach out to me because I can connect you with some amazing modern farmhouse designs here in West Michigan. Last but not least, number 10, the internet is over painted brick. You know, this one is one where I've kind of seen it go both ways. I have seen painted brick that makes sense, although I'm typically not one to see a brick wall and go, hey, let's paint that. That being said, I did purchase a home back in 2005. It had a full brick wall with a fireplace built in, and someone before me did paint that brick white. I didn't love it, but I never ended up changing it because obviously the effort that goes into removing that paint from the brick wall was more than the return on what the brick would look like as it came back to its natural state. A lot of work involved in removing paint from a porous wall like that. That being said, I've seen it look good. I've seen it look terrible. This is one I'm more on the fence about. I'm not really committed either way, but I can absolutely see where a lot of people might not be a fan of painted brick. Couple honorable mentions before we start to wrap this up. One of the big things that the internet was in arms about Subway tile. Again, this is one we see quite often in new construction and remodeled homes. If not subway tile, just curious what replaces it. What's the new modern equivalent today? I still think a lot of backsplashes done in subway tile look great, especially when you have a colored adhesive and a clear subway tile. It can give the kitchen a really cool modern look. And of course, sometimes people will replace even some of the glass tiles with an accent color that I also think looks really, really cool. Next on the honorable mention list, formal dining rooms. You know, this is one, again, where I've seen them look great and I've seen them be super awkward. We don't have a formal dining room, but we have a dining room that is built into an open floor plan. That being said, I like having a dedicated place to eat. I know it doesn't fit everybody's lifestyle, and formal dining room or dining area, if it's in an open floor plan, might not be the thing for you. The internet might be over it, but I don't know if American families are over it the same way the internet is. This is one I'm curious what you guys think. Is formal dining room a waste of space, or is it one of those must-haves for the big family gatherings? Last but not least on the honorable mention list, open floor plans. I think this is not a trend that's going away. I'd love to know who the internet people are out there that are over open floor plans. The vast majority of the buyers that I've shown over the last 25 years have absolutely appreciated open floor plans. I don't know where this one came from, quite honestly. And if you're one of those rare people, at least in my experience, if you're one of those rare people that's over the open floor plan, tell me why. I'm just curious what you're seeing in those more segregated floor plans. To me, that's a design of the 50s and 60s and 70s, and never been one of my favorites. I'm gonna stay on the open floor plan bandwagon, quite honestly. Well, there you have it. The internet has spoken. Tell me, which trend are you ready to see disappear on this list today? Are any of them super obnoxious or really done? And which ones did the internet get wrong? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for a home with or without some of these trends here in West Michigan, reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below, and I would absolutely love to help you and your family find the right house for you here in West Michigan. I'll see you guys on the next video.